Hey guys, and welcome back to another video. And today I wanted to talk about the end of IAE and give you guys my opinions and impressions of this year's show. Now, the event is coming to a close, and that means that you only have a few more days, I believe, to play the game for completely free and try out all of the ships that Star Citizen has to offer. So if you never played the game before, this is a great opportunity to hop in and see what Star Citizen is all about. Now, right now they have a sale going on their starter packages. I believe the lowest package is $40. Then there's a step above that for 51, 68, and they have the Avenger for 75, which is I think one of the best starter ships in the game. Now if you guys are interested in picking up Star Citizen, I do have a referral code linked in the video description below. It kind of gives you a little bit more money starting in-game credits when you do hop in the game. But again, I really advise you guys hop in during free fly events like this to see if the game is right for you. Now, there's a major turning point in Star Citizen. Hopefully, by the end of the year, 4.0 comes out. 4.0 is right at our doorstep, and this brings in the critical technology that I know a lot of people have been waiting for. This is the silver meshing technology that gives the game the ability to have multiple star systems in it, and we will be getting our first second star system, Pyro. This is a much larger star system that is supposed to have more content, new places to go, and will expand upon the economy, going from one system to kind of a multi-system economic route where traders can actually feel the effects of long hauls. So it's kind of a big deal. Um, Now, with the end of the show, we let's just go through it. And right now, we can see here the best in show paints. Essentially, Star Citizen has an event called the Ship Showdown when the community votes on all of the ships in the game and they pick their favorite for that year. And these are the winners for this year, and they get a custom paint. So this paint will never be available again, and they are specific to these ships. You will also be getting posters. These are in-game decorations. You can put them in your hangar and your habs and stuff. I don't believe you can currently equip them in your hangar, but you can put them in your temporary habs. And the ultimate winner, the F8 Lightning, gets a champion pendant. They also had a new episode of the IAE show with the voice actor behind Jax McCleary, the in-game IAE host. And you can see the paints there again, and they also have some war bond deals for the ship showdown winners. Here's a pack of all the ships if you're interested in getting that. These are very expensive. I know these are just for really hardcore backers who want to support the project. And then we have some armor and guns. I'm not a huge fan of the white and purple. This color scheme's not really my thing, but I do think the guns look pretty good with the white and purple there, and they're not a bad price. So what do I think about this year's show? Now, last year I did a full and comprehensive deep dive into all of the ship manufacturers on each of the days that IAE was running, and I gave a complete rundown and even some tips with CCU chaining and whatnot. This year I kind of decided not to do that because I already did that, and a lot of the same ships were available for you guys to check out. Ultimately, I always encourage you guys to go down to the show floor in game yourself and rent and fly these ships. Now, when it comes to new ships, I kind of feel like it was a little bit less exciting this year. I did do some things to change around my fleet a little bit, but that really just came around. Uh, I wanted to have the opportunity to move some of my ships from the 10-year insurance over to some LTI tokens. So what I kind of did was I melted some ships that I already had, and then I used that store credit to upgrade some LTI tokens that I had. So that's really all I did during this i.e., I really didn't buy anything new. So I know that a lot of people use IAE and Invictus as an opportunity to get access to ships that aren't available year round. A good example of that is like the 600i. The 600i is available finally if you have an LTI token or a lifetime insurance token that you want that ship to have. What you could do is that you could use store credit and you can upgrade that LTI to a ship that isn't normally available. And I know a lot of older backers are probably reconfiguring their fleets in that way. So sometimes you end up spending a few dollars here or there doing that because the ships have gone up in price. And this was, I guess, there was kind of a bit of drama around this topic with ships going up in price a little bit. But ultimately, I think that if you're doing that, if you're doing playing the CCU chain game and looking at different war bond deals and again putting in new money to ultimately get some type of discount, you have to be aware of whatever risk you're taking and the chance that you can lose out on something good. And I definitely advise people to uh, be cautious when they're doing that because again, uh, you can I guess contact CIG customer support if things go crazy. But yeah, I think that it was a good show. Ultimately, it did perform better in my personal opinion. It did perform better than previous years. Sometimes you would go down to the show floor and it'd be totally unplayable. This year actually wasn't that bad. I was able to go down to the show floor and look at some ships, and uh, it seemed to be performing pretty good for other people as well. So I think that's a good thing that CIG, it seems like they put in a lot of effort in that aspect of the show to make sure that it was a smoother experience for people. But I think in terms of ships, it was a bit less exciting than previous shows. I think that the Intrepid is a good ship, but I feel like a lot of people were hoping it would be a little bit more competitive. Obviously, I think it still sits in a pretty good place for its price and for what it offers. In my opinion, it's right behind the Avenger Titan as a good go-to starter ship because it is closer to gold standard than a lot of other starter ships, giving you the ability to have the potential gameplay loops with engineering, the internal storage, and whatnot. So I think that that ship is going to be good for a lot of people, and it is still at a pretty reasonable price. Like I said, obviously the Avenger Titan still reigns supreme if you're interested in really getting into this game and taking it seriously. That's the ship that I think a lot of people should go with, or if they bought a cheaper ship upgrade too. Ultimately, you can just buy it in game at the end of the day, get the cheapest game package, and every other ship just buy it in game through gameplay. That's ultimately the best way to go about it. But in terms of other ships, we had the medical tailpin, which I know a lot of people are looking forward to. They added a jump seat so you can have another medic taking care of the patient on the inside. But it doesn't have a cargo grid or anything like that, but it does have good hull HP, good shields, and it's kind of designed to go into hot zones, combat zones, and help fallen players in those areas. Then we had the Hornet Tracker and the Hornet Ghost. Now, with these two ships, I think they are pretty interesting. CIG did do a little bit of work with stealth to get that into a better place, which I do appreciate. But they're a little bit more expensive than the C, and I know a lot of people got the C and upgraded it to the F7A, which you really can't do anything with once you upgrade to that, because if you upgrade again, you lose the upgrade to the A, so you can't really go back to it. which again is kind of unfortunate. I wish CAG would have just sold the A as a separate limited ship so people could melt it and buy it back. But because it's the upgrade, you kind of just have to keep it on your account. That is kind of a bummer. But I think because that people are enjoying their F7A, they're probably not going to want to get into the Ghost or the Tracker. I think that maybe those ships will really shine when the game's a little bit further along, but right now I don't think they're as necessary. So I think people are less excited about those ships. Um, and then, of course, we had the Polaris. Now, the Polaris is a very expensive ship at the end of the day. There aren't, tons of people going out there and buying it. I'm pretty sure that a lot of people did. A lot of people picked it up with store credit. And reality is a lot of people already owned it. On PTU, they were just basically everywhere. A lot of people already own that ship. So I don't think it was something that a lot of people were jumping out to go and get. There was, of course, a lot of the limited hull ships. But, you know, one of the first times in a long while, CIG made them re-available again at the end of the show. So uh, I think that not as many people were jumping on those ships again. A lot of people already have them. So, it's mostly just new people that are getting into them, or people uh trying to move things around to be able to pick them up, because they're also not something that you can really readily available to upgrade to. At the end of the day, there's a bigger stock of war bond versions of those ships than there is store credit. All the store credit versions just go a lot faster because people don't want to spend real money on those kinds of ships. So that kind of means that there's less real money going into it for CIG. So at the end of the day, I think that the show was good, but of course the game is so far along. This is I believe now 13 years, 12 years, something like that into the project. So a lot of the people who are into it for the long haul, they're kind of getting into the mode where they want to start spending a little bit less money on the project because they kind of have all the ships they want to have. And then you have the people who are of the mind that they don't want to spoil the game for themselves by just buying all of the ships. So there is that mentality that, hey, I just want to have the starter ship so I don't spoil the game for myself. I think that IAE again is really going to be for a lot of those newer players, and with less stuff coming up with the game 4.0 getting cut back. I think that CIG definitely felt the need to save ships like the Mirai Guardian for 4.0. I think that's going to be another boom. I'm very interested in that ship. And we had one concept this year from Anvil. I think that that was an interesting concept, but again, it's a combat gunship. It's a little bit less exciting. I was more interested or looking forward to something industrial. With the gameplay expanding, I think CIG should start to focus more on industrial ships moving forward, because people want to get in and they want to make money in this game so that they can buy ships, right? So the combat ships, it's not that they're not money makers, but they also cost a lot because you end up losing them. You have to buy ammo, you have to buy fuel. They're not just money makers, they're also money sinks. And with the industrial ships, you get different gameplay loops in there. I think that if CAG can, full out the industrial ship lineup, give us, more salvage ships, more mining ships, more everything, more fueling ships, work on getting that gameplay into the game, then people could really see themselves investing in a ship like that so they can enjoy the game for themselves a little bit more. So whenever you have, again, when the Raster came out, a lot of people were very excited about that. This kind of, higher tier mining ship, that was a big boom. So I think if CIG released more ships like that, more people will be excited to, jump in and spend some money again. Again, I did not spend a ton of money this year. It was really just a couple of bucks here and there to move things around in my hangar. And I will make an updated hangar video to kind of show you guys some of the decisions I made moving forward. But realistically, I think this is going to be it for me. I don't really think I'm going to be spending a whole lot more money on this game. I think I have all the ships I want at this point, and I'm just really ready to get into the game and start playing it on a regular basis. I really feel like 4.0 testing it out feels pretty good. Again, it's still an alpha. I know it's still going to be very buggy. But Pyro is beautiful. Pyro is gorgeous. And I think that if CIG can really make it a resource gold mine, I'm more than excited to be a part of that experience and make the trip over there, trading and gathering resources to be a part of a bigger player economy. I'm telling you guys, I really can't wait until the day where, you know, more of those gameplay mechanics get added into the game and we can really see ourselves living in this universe. I honestly can't wait for that. So 4.0 has been giving me glimpses of that. Going to the jump point is an incredibly immersive experience, and I've been, you know, just really enjoying what CIG has been putting together for this patch. And, you know, I hope this continues into the next year in 2025 with resource management and some of the other features that got you know, pushed back a little bit further, the cloud tech and that stuff. When we get the full weather systems in on all the planets, I'm telling you, there's going to be nothing else out there like this game. But I want to know what you guys think. What did you guys think of this year's IAE? Did you buy a lot of ships? You buy a lot of skins? Were you just moving things around on your account? Do you you know, what kinds of ships do you want to see from CIG? Are you done spending money on the game? You want them to just release the game already? I want to hear from you guys. I like hearing from you guys in the comments down below. You guys have been amazing. This is just a, you know, kind of a quicker video, kind of summarizing my thoughts on this year's IAE. The year's coming to a close. It's December now. Hopefully we are able to get, you know, a wider PTU out for 4.0 and, you know, potentially go live this year. I know it might be kind of difficult with the holidays coming up. The devs won't have as much time to work on the game and bug fix if it does go to live, but you never know, it could still go live and be a good experience. Here's hoping that's possible. So that's going to be it for me in this video, you guys. Like I always say at the end of these videos, like the video if you liked it, subscribe if you want to see more, and I will see you guys in the next one. Salut.